Your study permit would normally expire after 3 months of your graduation or your completion from your university. Some people have the study permit that says they cannot work. If you also want to start a new program or institution, you should attach a letter of explanation. The study permit will carry the information saying that you can work in any employment condition except for example, on my own it says except for workers. Another thing is you need to have $10,000 in your account. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yemisi, and if you are seeing my face for the very first time, hi, where have you been? Subscribe for more informative and educative contents on the channel. Okay, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to extend your study permit or your work permit in Canada. A quick background story to this: my study permit was to expire March 2023, and I knew that I needed to extend it, and also because I got internship with my school, which also came with scholarship. If you've not seen that video, I'll link it up somewhere here for you, so go check it out so that you have a background to whatever I'm saying in this video. So I got this internship and supposed to last for 8 months. My study permit was to expire in March 2023, which is going to be before my internship ends. So I needed to apply for study permit extension and also apply for work permit so that I'm able to work full-time in Canada. That was prior to the news about students being able to work 40 hours in Canada. Okay, so I applied for it in April 2022, and I got my visa decision in October. So that's like 5 months and 2 weeks. And oh my god, that was the longest wait ever. Anyway, so I've seen people ask me to do this video, and I'm doing it now. A lot of questions that I really do get from people is the difference between study visa and study permit. And I know that I've talked about this before. So study visa is that visa approval that you get when you are back in your home country. So that visa enables you to travel into Canada, but that visa does not enable you to stay within Canada. It's just like applying for visa to travel to any other country. So the study visa gives you approval to come into Canada, while the study permit is what you get at the port of entry that allows you to remain in Canada. So when I was coming in, my international passport was to expire in March. That was why I was given up to March 2023. So I also needed to renew my international passport, which I did, and I have a video on that as well. I can link it up here for you if you want to take a look at it. After getting my international passport done, then I decided to apply for my study permit extension and also my work permits. So that's the background to this video. So you need to apply for your study permit extension 3 months before your permit expires. Well, that's what's in the books, but we know that since COVID happened, there's been a lot of delay. Let's just call it spade a spade. There's been a lot of delay, and because of that, I knew that I needed to apply beforehand. So I would advise, just take it from me, to apply like 6 months before expiration, just so that you don't get into the period of a die known. So yeah, I would advise that you should do 6 months to expiration, because this 3 months was what was on the website prior to COVID. So yeah. Before now, I didn't know that you could get a new passport 1 year to expiry, right? Like if it's remaining just 1 year on your passport. But I realized that some people actually are able to do it. Now, I don't know if you can do it within Canada, but back home in Nigeria, for example, because I'm Nigerian, I know that some people do it. And I don't know how easy or how seamless it is or what documents you need to provide, but I know that it's possible. And if it's not, just try to ask, okay? There's no harm in asking. So ask to know if it is possible. And if it is, just apply for it already so that it does not reduce your study permit in Canada. So what I mean is, when you get to the port of entry, usually they will give you years that covers your school period. But if your passport is expiring in 1 year time, then they can only give you up to 1 year. So you're within Canada, you have to apply for extension. On the website, the processing time says online application is 149 days, which is like 5 months, and paper application is 125 days. Well, I'm not even going to advise you to do paper because the world is digital right now, so it's advisable to go with the online application. The cost for the study permit extension is $150. If you're applying for your study permit extension and work permit together, then you still pay $150, so you don't have to pay any extra cost for the work permit. There's usually a questionnaire on the form that you fill. So at the end of the day, the document that you submit, they're unique to your situation. So they're unique to the answers that you have given in that form. For me, when I filled the questionnaire, I got a couple of requests for some documents, which I'm going to also break down in this video. So back to what I was saying about renewing your international passport if it is 1 year to expiry. If it's possible, and at the time you're watching this video, you've already applied for your visa application, you can always upload a web form and then you get the new international passport and upload it as a supporting document in your application. Like I said, I applied for both study permit extension and also for work permit because I needed to have that 40 hours or full-time hours for my internship. So how do you apply? You can either apply on GCK, that's the common website for Canadastudy visa application. But in 2021, there was a new platform that was launched, and I have not tried it before, but I hear that it's very, very seamless and even easy. And what I even heard about it is if you, for example, you're applying for a visitor visa for maybe 2 parents, then you can apply for both of them under your name, like under your application. So you don't necessarily have to open a new application for them, which is incredible if you ask me, because it saves a lot of unnecessary breakdown of information. So it's even easier for the visa officer. When you apply for your family to come visit you, you just have to attach their own documents under your profile so they can link your profile directly, which I feel like is very good. It eliminates some of those unnecessary documentations that you have to re-upload for them. To be fair, I did not have to attach so much documents, and I feel like it's going to be the same for you if you're within Canada. You already have all of your documents before you came into Canada and they are all on your profile, so you don't have to show so much before you get your visa approved, especially if you can confirm that you're within school and all of that. And I'm going to explain those documents that you attach shortly. So the first supporting document that I was told to attach, which I feel like everyone will attach, will be the IMM 5709 form. It's an Adobe form, and usually I know people find it difficult to open these forms. What you just have to do is to ensure that you have Adobe Acrobat Reader on your laptop. When you open the document, download it first, and when you download it, go to your download section, open it using the Adobe Acrobat Reader. When you open it up, then you will see the form and you'll be able to fill in the form. After filling all your forms, ensure that you validate it so that I can bring out that barcode at the end of the page. The IMM 5709 form is the application to change conditions, extend my stay, or remain in Canada as a student. This form requires family information. Make sure to put in accurate information, and if you ask me, ensure that there is no difference in whatever you put in your previous application that made you eligible to come to Canada in the first place. Make sure that there is no difference, because they will go through it and ensure there is accuracy or consistency. After filling it and attaching it and validating it, I uploaded it. Also, I was requested to attach my co-op letter. Like I said, I was applying for both study permit extension and work permit at the same time, so I needed to attach my work permit, like all the contracts that I signed with my placements, also with my school. I had to attach all of that. Letter of acceptance from school, my offer letter that I got initially that makes them know that I'm eligible to remain in Canada and all of that, so I attached that as well. My international passport, like I said, I had to do a new passport, so I attached that new passport as well. I didn't have to attach the old one because it's invalidated already. Proof of means of financial support. So for this one, I attached the proof of tuition payment receipts for all the semesters, you know, something that makes them know that I'm not owing this school and I've been in school all along. I attached the receipt for all the semesters that I've been enrolled in school. I also attached my sponsorship letter from the institution, so you can either attach your sponsorship letter from your sponsor or even from yourself if you're self-sponsored, or from your institution that is providing you money. So in the case of, say, funding, you just attach your institution's letter that shows that you have the necessary financial support. You also have to prove funding paid from Canada if you have scholarship. So if you are here on scholarship, then like I said, you have to attach the letter from the school or from the organization that is sponsoring you in your school. Another thing is you need to have $10,000 in your account to show proof of funds. So if you don't have funding, if you don't have a sponsorship letter like me, then you have to attach 10,000 Canadian dollars. Or even if you have a sponsorship letter that is not up to $10,000, you also have to attach a bank account or whatever that shows the extra amount that complements the current amount you have on your scholarship letter that makes it up to $10,000. Also, you need a proof of a Canadian bank statement, a proof of student or educational loan from a bank or a financial institution, and you need a bank draft in convertible currency. So What I'm saying is either or all of this. So if you have a proof of financial support of $10,000, then that's fine. But if you don't have it, then you have the opportunity to also attach a proof of student loan from a bank or a financial institution, something that just shows that you have the financial capacity to remain in Canada. In my case, like I said, I use my scholarship letter, and if you've not seen the video, I can link it up here. So if you're an aspiring Canadian student and you want to come to university here in Canada and you want scholarship, just refer back to the video because I was able to break it down and I talked about my school, and I tried to also refer to other schools. You see links there that helps you with scholarship in different universities in Canada. Another thing I needed to do was proof of upfront medical exam. So even though it states on the website that you need a medical receipt of 6 to 12 months from the day you were applying, I used the one that I used back in Nigeria, which is the one I submitted for my upfront medicals, and it was approved. So I don't know if you should use it, but that was what I used because I didn't even know where to do it. So I attached that one and it was accepted. So you may want to give it a try, I don't know. The next thing I attached was my digital photo. So actually make sure that it's a current one, and also make sure that it looks like you, like your current look. Also ensure that it aligns with the necessary size requirement that is requested for Canadian visa application. So there is a size there, just make sure that it aligns with it so that it will be accepted. The last section, but not the least, is the client's information. And this particular section, you normally want to attach every necessary document that you know that is necessary and that is needed for that section, because most of the time they're not going to break it down and tell you this is what you're going to attach, but just basically knowing that this is your client information, this is everything that states that you are here. So in this case though, you don't necessarily have to start attaching maybe birth certificates or all of those many things that you attached in your previous application, because personally I feel like they already have your data. So all I attached was my statement of purpose, or you can call it letter of explanation. And in letter of explanation, there are so many conditions that enables you to write a letter of explanation. I would explain that shortly. To be honest, I just had 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph was introducing myself, my student ID, the school I'm currently in, and the second part was just me telling them I'm applying for study permit and this is why I'm applying for it, right? And also applying for work permit. So I also had to explain that as well. That was basically what I did. But if you want to put in more information, just because probably you have like a situation or a special circumstance that you want to make them aware of, then you have to do that. For example, if you're changing your surname, or if you're applying for maybe like any other thing that I'm going to share very soon, I might need to, put in more extensive notes in your statement of purpose. The other thing I attached was my confirmation of enrollment. So every semester that I've enrolled, I attach all those confirmation of enrollment. If you register for your courses, then you get a confirmation of enrollment. So I had registered for my fall semester, which is the semester we're currently in. So I just attached the document for that as well, just so that they know that I'm still a student and I'm still in school. So everything that validates you as a student, just try to attach it there. So I attached my student ID as well. I attached my Saskatchewan provincial ID card. I also attached my current study permit. So my current study permit already shows the expiry date of the current study permit. It already tells the story of why I need a new one. So I attached it too. For the optional document part, it's also requested for IMM 5257. That's the application for a temporary resident visa made outside Canada. I didn't fill it. The last part under the optional documents was also the client's information. So I just attached everything that I attached in the supporting documents under the client's information in this optional document under the client's information as well. For letter of explanation, just the same way I had mentioned in a previous video, saying if you are applying for Canada visa for the first time, then the statement of purpose. If you're applying subsequent time, like because of refusal, then it is letter of explanation, because you're explaining your situation, your condition, your circumstance, your special circumstance, making you to apply again for study permit, for work permit, for visa, and whatever. Students have the following situations or changes are advised to include a letter of explanation in the application they are submitting. And what are those changes or situations? It could be if you've attended multiple programs and institutions and you need a study permit extension, just write a letter explaining why you need the study permit extension. I attended this school for 1 year, and the second school I'm in right now, my study permit is not going to be valid until the end of that program. So this is why I need it. Just make sure that you explain your situation clearly to the visa officer. The second reason you might want to attach a letter of explanation would be if you had authorized or unauthorized deferrals in school. Sometimes people defer a semester or two. So I've given the school a very strong reason why you are deferring. If they approve of it, you just attach the approval in the application for your study permit, and also attach the letter of explanation explaining your situation. Also, if your previous application was refused or rejected, well, people around me, everyone got approved, so I don't know if people can be refused, but of course it's visa application, people can be refused. So if you've been refused before, you want to attach a letter of explanation explaining that you were refused before and why you are reapplying. If you also want to start a new program or institution, you should attach a letter of explanation. If you would like to change the employment remarks on the study permit, you can also apply for study permit. So let me explain this one quickly. So when you come in at the port of entry, if your school is a DLI and it states that you can work, then on the study permit it will carry the information saying that you can work in any employment condition except for example, on my own it says except for sex workers. Some people have the study permit that says they cannot work. Apply for another school that is maybe 1 or 2 years and you can work, then you can also apply for study permit extension and include your letter of explanation stating clearly that in the previous study permit you could not work, but in the current one your DLI enables you to work. So explain it to them so that they can also approve your study permit extension. Another reason why you would want to write a letter of explanation would be need to apply for a co-op work permit at the same time, which is in my case. So I attached a letter of explanation explaining that I'm requesting to get an approval for study permit extension, but at the same time I'm also looking to get a work permit for so reason. Okay, also another reason you could want to attach letter of explanation would be change of names on your passport information, or change of marital status and all of that on your new study permit, so that they do not reflect the previous name on your new study permit. So those are the reasons why you might want to attach a letter of explanation. Lastly, your study permit would normally expire after 3 months of your graduation or your completion from your university. For example, if you are graduating in December, if your international passport is not going to expire in the next 3 to 6 months, then you will still get 3 months validity on your application. So within that 3 months, you should apply for your postgraduate work permit so that you are able to continue working in Canada. Yeah, that is basically all you need to know about your study permit extension, and I'm going to leave the links to the GC key in case you want to use the GC key or you want to use the new platform. I heard the new platform is very fast, so you might want to try it, but I'm going to leave the 2 links in the description box for you. Also, let me know other video ideas that you would love to see in the comment section and I will gladly make the video. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you. Let me know other questions you have in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.